Hey there and welcome back, my friends. So if you don't know me, my name is Fekete-Mustafa. I usually do makeup while I make these videos, but makeup is done. And I'm just going to talk to you about one of the most interesting cases in history to me. Very creepy, very spooky, and that is of the man in the iron mask. And you guys may remember that movie from the 90s with Leonardo DiCaprio in The Man in the Iron Mask. Well, that movie is what turned me on to this whole case. And I went through like a spiral, like trying to find all this information on The Man in the Iron Mask back in the day. And it popped into my head, and I just thought that we'd talk about it now. The Man in the Iron Mask is one of the most fascinating real-life mysteries of European history. A prisoner held in secret under the reign of Louis XIII in France, whose identity was never revealed, sparking centuries of speculation and legend. And these are the facts. The man actually existed. He was imprisoned for at least 34 years. 34 years. From 1669, or possibly earlier, until his death in 1703. Imagine that. Imagine being locked up in prison. They say he doesn't even, know why. I don't know. Like, maybe he did, but that's just what we know nowadays, or think we know. He was always kept under extraordinary secrecy, guarded closely, and moved between several prisons. At his death, he was buried under a false name, Marcoioli. Yeah. First mentioned in records in 1669. Sent to the fortress of Pignerol, I think that's how you pronounce it, Pignerol, in the Alps. He was then moved to several other prisons. Exiles, Lérins, Marguerite, and finally to the Bastille in Paris in 1698. In each place, he was kept in a private cell, wore a mask, sometimes said to be iron, but most likely made out of leather or velvet, and rarely allowed to speak with anybody. So I wonder where like the whole iron mask thing came from. I would think like maybe that mask would still be lingering around somewhere if they're not sure what it was made of. So we gotta ask ourselves, why the mask? Contemporary sources said he always wore the mask in the presence of others, even guards. Voltaire later popularized the story, claiming it was an iron mask. Okay, so it came from this guy, and he was saying that this man was the king's brother. Okay, so that brings us back to the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. The mask ensured that nobody could recognize him. Some witnesses said that the mask had a movable jaw so that he could eat properly, but I don't know. Like without having to remove the mask because they weren't about to remove the mask. Imagine wearing a mask for like 30 some years every day, never taking it off. That would be so itchy and uncomfortable and just so odd. Okay, so his death. He died in the Bastille in November 1703. Buried under the name Marchioli, or whatever. It was fake anyway. In the St. Paul Cemetery in Paris. All of his possessions and even the walls of his cell were reportedly destroyed or whitewashed afterward. Another sign of how secretive his imprisonment was. Theories about his identity. Historians and writers have proposed many theories, including twin brother of Louis XIV. The most famous idea, thanks to Alexander Dumas' novel, that he was a secret older brother, twin brother, of the Sun King. But there is no solid evidence of this. Illegitimate half-brother, or son of Anne of Austria, which is the queen, you know, his mom. Similar to the twin idea, suggesting that he had royal blood and posed a threat. Count Ercole Antonio Matoi. I'm sorry, I can't. These French names are so hard. And okay, this one's not even French. It's Italian. My bad. An Italian diplomat who betrayed Louis XIV in a secret deal and was imprisoned under a false name. This is supported by some records, but doesn't explain the mask or the extreme secrecy. Number 4, General Vivien de Blonde, a French officer disgraced and punished, but his known death date doesn't match. Don't think it's him. Eustache Dogger, a valet who may have known damaging secrets about high-ranking nobles. And number 6, someone who knew a terrible secret, such as witnessing a crime, possibly, or knowing about a secret affair, or a political scandal, perhaps. What do historians think today? Most scholars think that he was Eustache Dogger, possibly a valet or a minor courtier involved in the sensitive affair of state. Imprisoned because of what he knew. Imagine that, just knowing something and you're imprisoned all that time. I'd be like, just cut my tongue out and let me live my life, like, you know. The iron part of the mask seems to have just become an embellishment. Records from the Bastille refer to a black velvet mask. In popular culture, Alexandre Dumas made the story famous in 1847 when he wrote the novel The Vicomte de Barambelé de Umine. Yeah, that. Where the man is the king's twin. Films and story have depicted him as tragic royal, a political pawn, or a secret heir to the throne. I'm telling you, all this world wants is drama, 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 right? So what do you think? I tried looking up, you know, the Man in the Iron Mask in so many ways, and there's like not a lot that comes up. So it's just like a really vague, like just thing that like no one will really ever know because there's just not much on it. I do enjoy like all of these stories, and I do enjoy the movies and all of that, but it's just like, it just kills me that I won't know the facts. I need to know the facts, you know, but I guess this is what we have, and that's that. But if it was like his brother or his like half brother or something, I just think it's so despicable that you would like lock your brother away. Like, you're still going to be treated like really good, you know, like I don't know why everyone just fought over the throne back then. I just don't think it, like, you know, being king, queen, and all that is all like cracked up to what people think it is. So I just feel like there's so much on your shoulders, and I don't know why, if this was the case, that he would want all that. But I guess it's like popularity, right? Like, it is what it is. It's royalty, but I mean, it's not worth it. Family first. So if you haven't watched The Man in the Iron Mask with Leonardo DiCaprio, that one is really, really good. Yeah, I've been obsessed with that movie since it came out. I love like those period movies, like from back when, especially when it has some kind of history to it, like some real life history. But how horrible would that be to be just strapped into a mask for 30-some years, you guys? That's crazy. That's so long. That poor guy, whoever he was, like... But even going back to the movie, the whole love between Anne and D'Artagnan, like... Because, you know, the Musketeers were all, like, in that movie. Oh, it was so sweet. Because there was, like... not really like any like touch or whatever between them. I think there was in like 1 or 2 scenes, but it was all just the eye contact. Like, you know, the eye contact. Like, so romantic. So romantic. So yeah, make sure you watch that if you haven't. I've been wanting to watch that with my daughter, and it's just not available on any channels right now. I don't understand why. So as soon as it is one day, or if you've seen it somewhere, let me know. And Leonardo DiCaprio is such an amazing actor to be able to play the king and then the twin brother of the king, because the king was such a rotten person. He was so mean and didn't care about anybody but himself. And then the twin brother, the guy in the mask, was the sweetest person ever. And then he had to play like both those roles. He's a really good actor for sure. Yeah, and I forgot to ask you guys to please subscribe to my channel, because that helps me so much, like you wouldn't even believe. Maybe drop me a like and a comment as well. That helps kind of like shoot me off to other people in the algorithm, so that would be great. Thank you so much. And even if you know somebody who's obsessed with the Man in the Iron Mask, please send them this video so that we can chit-chat in the comments about what they think about this, because I need to know if anyone has any like extra information, because it's just always been something in the back of my head. All right, my friend. So it was really nice chit-chatting with you, and I hope you have a beautiful day, and I hope to see you soon. All right. Bye.